It has been a while since I've done this. Holy crap. To be honest, I almost completely forgot I had a vlog channel because I haven't been vlogging. Now, it's not because I've been lazy. Don't get me wrong. It's just because that most of the stuff we've been doing from my last entry until now, except for the last 4 days, which I'll get to later, has been relatively uninteresting. Most of it has been training the new people on the team so that for these past 4 days and the upcoming 6 weeks, they'll be ready for build season, which we are currently on day 5 of. A couple months ago, wow, it's been months since I made an entry, we came back to find that the tote that we keep all of our main electronic components for the driver station and stuff got wet. And by wet, we mean like filled with water, and then one of the batteries got this acid in that water.
It's so off at all. Usually fine.
You didn't look at all of them.
Dude, that board. I think it's kind of good. Yeah, there.
Damn.
I think it was something up there that leaked.
Yeah, here. Yeah. So hit these things, but fall off a little bit.
Yes.
Problem.
Yeah.
David
Someone want to open the door for us?
I
We'll
do.
end it up outside.
You're not toting.
Brandon is corroding so bad. Take the whole thing.
Look at this.
Anna, put it back in.
Take them back. Just drop them in there. The glasses will be.
So, a lot of the stuff in that tote we had to throw away, which really sucked. For the most part, a lot of the really important stuff we were able to keep so we can still do our main testing stuff. But we have to replace a lot of components too, which is really annoying. Now, as for me, I've been working to try and help train the new programmers. I can't say I've done the best job anyone could do, but I think between me, Chris, and Kyle, we've been doing the best we can, and Smiley has been helping a lot with that too. Now it's build season though, so it's less of a teaching experience and more of a, we have to do this. If you don't get it, please ask questions, but we can't spend the whole meeting explaining it to you because we have to get this done. Done. I have an accent. So the reason I haven't been really vlogging anything is because we're programmers and we use computers, and if you just stare at people like on computers typing stuff, actually we don't even type, we just use the mouse to mostly click and drag stuff. That's what LabVIEW's for. So if you just sit there and watch people on a computer, well, that's really boring. There are so many programmers. To Tucker. However, over our school's winter break, it was 2 weeks, and Smiley gave us the challenge of programming the entire robot from last year in 2 weeks. Now, we didn't get a bunch of fancy stuff done on it, but we got all of the components of that robot working, which is a really good feeling, especially considering that we didn't meet as often as we usually do in build season. Now, a lot of people came inconsistently, but me and Chris were constantly there, so between the two of us, Smiley, and the people who can explain what happened during the break too, I think we're in a pretty good position for programming this year. That is until I saw the game for this year. The game is called Rebound Rumble. I'm going to post a link to the game animation in the description, and I'm not going to bother explaining the whole thing in here because that would just take too long, and I have to get ready for school really soon. Anyways, basically it's robot basketball, and there are bridges in the middle of the field. There are 3, one at each end and then one in the middle, and there's like a beam running between them so that if you don't want to go on the bridges, you have to get across that beam somehow to get to the other side of the field.
I know. No, we wouldn't be able to make an arm that large.
Yeah.
And if you have like a ruler or something, so you have a unit of measure where you take a picture, it's helpful. But I can't think of it.
During the end game, you can balance on the bridge. So, shooting and making baskets and getting on the bridge are kind of like the 2 main things, functionality-wise, that you want your robot to be able to do. Now, from a machine shop design perspective and an electrical perspective, electrical really never changes from year to year, so, like, they're probably not going to mess up that much. From our design team's perspective, I mean, yes, we're going to have probably the most functional shooter and stuff that we can imagine to score as many points as we can. But from a programming standpoint, it's actually really hard. And by really hard, I don't mean like we're going to stay up all night thinking about how to do this like it's a puzzle. It's just, it's going to take a lot of code. Because it would be really hard to ask the driver to be able to aim our shooter manually. So, we're going to give them auto-targeting, which, for anyone who's ever tried that before, you know it takes a lot of work. However, if we can get that working, that would be awesome. So it's day 5 of build season, and already we've got parts of the field reconstructed at our school. We have recreated one of the bridges and the beam that goes across the middle of the field. We also have a basketball hoop donated by Cheyenne. And we also have the full kit of parts chassis working. And we have a prototype shooter working. So, things are coming along pretty smoothly so far, especially compared to last year when we were still designing at this point. And also an interesting thing is, each year this team gets a Connect. However, the Connect can only be used for autonomous mode. So, right now, we're thinking that we just want to go with a full-out autonomous mode, because if we put a human in front of the Connect to do stuff during autonomous mode, they have a much higher chance of making errors than if the code works right. So we're probably not going to use the Connect too much, but we'll probably play with it a bit. And really, that's about all I have so far. Once more stuff happens, I'll record it, I'll put it on the channel, and just feel free to stay tuned and watch how our build season goes by. I'm not sure how much of our robot I'll be able to show on here. I still have to discuss that with the mentors, but I'll try and show as much as I can. And with that, see ya.